And our next guest has interviewed everyone, from notorious criminals and cult leaders through to Tiger Kings. But now he's become a star in his own right, a rap star. In fact, he's got millions of views on TikTok with a rap that he first did over 20 years ago. To tell us why his money don't jiggle, jiggle, it's Louis Theroux, ladies!
My money don't jiggle, jiggle. I'd like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble, dribble.
Oh, yeah?
You know, blowing in my feet.
Louis, I can imagine that never at any point in your life did you think you'd be walking on to your own music rap single.
Well, maybe, like, in the dream of dreams. When I was very young, I thought maybe one day I'd be a pop star, and then I realised I had no talent. So to go viral... after 22 years wait with a track on TikTok is kind of amazing.
And you have got a talent. You're the best interviewer out there.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, and you've released it as a single now, haven't you?
Yeah, it's come out as a single. Each moment, my agent called up and said, we've been in touch with TikTok because something strange is happening. They say something strange is happening on the platform. You're going viral in an unprecedented way. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm going on holiday. Fine, put it in an email. And then I kept hearing from people. And then I found that when I went past schools, dropping my kids off, I'd hear this murmur and they'd start going, my money don't jiggle, jiggle. And it just... Then I heard about celebrities doing it. I can't remember who the first was, but I know Rita Ora did it, Shakira did it, Snoop Dogg did it. That was, for me, off the charts.
Yeah, yeah.
And what did your children think about it?
OK, interesting question. I have 3 boys, 16, 14 and a 7-year-old.
Right.
The 7-year-old's quite thrilled. There he is. The 7-year-old's into it. The middle one, the 14-year-old, not so much.
They're embarrassed.
They love TikTok, right? And he especially. So the idea that I'm all over his feed doing my cringy dance with my cringy music is obviously not ideal.
Oh, it's like you're going to segue really well into an obvious thing we're now going to have to ask you to do, is to do the rap, and can you do a little bit of a jiggle for us as well?
See, OK, here's what we're going to do. We'll do the best we can.
Right.
My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I like to see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure. It makes me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding in my Fiat. You really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact. No slack, but luckily the seats go back. I got a knack to relax in my mind, sipping some red, red wine. Probably on TV before. That was an exclusive.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
How was that for you, Louis?
I became conscious halfway through that I wasn't really moving. And then I started to move, and then I thought, this is difficult, and you have to rap and move at the same time.
I've got to say, your 14-year-old will absolutely be losing his mind when he watches this.
Big Loose Women fan as well.
Speaking of your 14-year-old and your children, I've spoken about my mum guilt of working so hard and not spending as much time. You've reached a compromise, I understand, with your dad guilt.
Yeah, I mean, look, which is a nice segue into the book, which I have out. Because, like, Theroux the Keyhole. What is it? What have we actually called it?
You've called it Louis Theroux, Theroux the Keyhole.
Well, the world went weird and so did I.
Yeah.
That sounded like a lurching segue, but actually the truth is I've felt as though the biggest conflict certainly in my life, in the life of anyone who's like me, is between is work and life, right? And how that plays out on the domestic front, and how that also plays out in a relationship with your significant other, in my case, my wife, Nancy. So I've been travelling for 20 years making TV all around the world, and then during lockdown, suddenly I couldn't travel anymore.
Oh, darn, it was terrible.
Which was really bittersweet, because on one level, it's nice to be around your family, which is sort of what my wife had been saying for 20 years, like, why don't you go away less? Couldn't you make stories? You know, can't you interview? There must be interesting people to interview in the UK, right?
Yeah.
And so here I am thinking, well, what do I do now? I can't travel. And so I began reporting on the home front, on the domestic setting, which turned out to involve a lot of reportage about arguments I was having, mainly with my wife and also with my kids. But so the answer to your question is, like, it's not easy, is it? And actually, it requires constant sensitivity and negotiation to find the right balance between yourself and your partner. Don't you think?
How did you find that, turning the camera on yourself and your family?
Well, it's my living, and I'm a curious person. I find so. What I did in my book is I reported it forensically on everything that was taking place. Even, like, I heard someone say recently, if you want to know who someone really is, ask their family. Like, don't ask their co-workers.
No.
Ask their family.
Yeah.
I think that's really true.
Yeah.
We often show our worst selves to our family
Yes.
because
Yes.
it's who we really are, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no politeness. You're tired, you're ill, you know, all the worst things that
Yeah.
can happen, you're there. And so I wanted to be as truthful as I could about all of that. I sort of thought that was the point of the book in a way. But the question was like, how did they feel?
Yeah.
I was all right with it. Obviously, the feeling among my family was like, well, couldn't you take that bit out and take that bit out?
What sort of bits are we talking about? I mean, you know, what did you find out anything that really shocked you about the members of your family that you decided to keep in the book?
Look, okay, so I think this is going to sound super cheesy, and I apologise for that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I discovered how much I loved my family and how much I loved my wife in particular. Because we were thrown together in a way, like, I don't know, I compared it sometimes to being like the Swiss Family Robinson. Like, you're sort of marooned on your island. I know everyone had a different pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And so I can only speak for me, but for me it involved the family in isolation, but among ourselves, we were seeing more of each other than ever before. And so that involved getting to know my wife in a whole new way. And as it happened, we'd started a company at the beginning of lockdown, not ideal timing, a TV production company. So we were working together. So it was on one level horrendous, like actually arguing, being in each other's pockets, stressed out about things, thinking like, how do you make meals for your kids, clean and tidy everything, and work a full day when both of you are working? And on another level, it was kind of amazing and wonderful.
But then adding to that was the fact that you talk about the fact that you were drinking more at that time, and you hadn't realised how bad it had gotten until your wife told you that actually you're drinking far more than you used to.
And she said that quite a few times. And I don't know why I laugh, only because she might even say that now on occasion. But I think, like a lot of people, I was thinking about this yesterday, you know, we couldn't go to stag do's, like we didn't go to weddings, we didn't go to parties. In a sense, all of that had to be, all that sense of outlet, that social interaction had to take place sort of in your house, like among really yourself and whoever you lived with. And so, yeah, I would, of a Friday night, I would crack open the bourbon and usually...
Just on Friday?
And then on a Monday. And then on a Monday and a Tuesday. And one of her things was like, Louis, like, what? You seem to be drinking quite a lot. I'm like, well, I'm just relaxing.
Just boredom as well,
and then
wasn't
she's
it?
like, yeah, it is a Monday night. I'm like, really? Is it a Monday? Like, because you know how the days all blurred into one. So
Did you manage to rein that in?
I've reined it in, yeah, definitely. I think...
So is it just Sunday and Monday?
Now, basically, Tuesdays, I don't even drink that much.
Oh, well done.
No, I drink more than you're supposed to. Like a lot of people, you know, we all have these hypocrisies. Like, you know, you're not supposed to speed, but many people drive a bit faster than you're supposed to. You're not supposed to shout at your kids, but all these things that you know you're not supposed to do, but you end up kind of doing. And I think you can't be too hard on yourself about that stuff. Like, I think you've got to keep an eye on it, check in with each other. But I feel as though it's, you know, just, it's a part of my life. It's a way of relaxing, and I try not to be pious or precious about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But something else you ended up doing...
I was just at Glastonbury, for goodness sake.
Well,
like, do you know what I mean? Like,
you were
You're looking so well despite
you were
the
working out.
family.
I can't believe you weren't on the stage at Glastonbury.
No, get me up there.
I believe you took a part in the Joe Wicks
okay,
movement.
thank you. Yeah, that's the other part. So I think I was balancing whatever drinking I was doing with every morning, or at least 5 or 6 mornings a week, doing a Joe Wicks workout. Oh, my God, there he is. There he is. And actually, I still do it.
OK.
So even though we're out of lockdown, anecdotally, a lot of my friends have COVID at the moment.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Have you been tested before you got here?
I've been tested. But actually, I did a Joe Wicks this morning.
Well
did
done.
one yesterday morning.
Yeah.
I really think that you've got to see the whole picture, haven't you?
You do. That's what we like. We like to look at the whole picture.
Absolutely.
And on that note, actually, I want to get you on a few of our topics.
Please.
So we've been talking about graduation ceremonies for 4-year-olds at nursery. I'm not a fan of them. But your youngest did it, didn't he?
Yeah. My 7-year-old, when he left nursery, they got little mortarboards and robes, and they paraded around, and it was the loveliest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I think you'd have to be a total Grinch to not think that was a lovely thing.
I'm a Grinch, and I'm happy with that. You know, Louis?
Part of that was the other problem.
I would love to
Little
see my grandchildren.
You don't even have to buy the little outfits.
What a waste of
Why
money.
not, though? It's
They
lovely.
won't even remember it.
Well,
you've got the
It's not
pictures to
for
show
them,
them.
it's for us. It's for us to have lovely photos. It's like my 16-year-old just had his prom night. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't even do Halloween. You know, like
no. Everything's
It was all like,
Americanised now.
everything's been Americanized, so they're bringing it over. But I'm half American, so maybe I've got skin in the game. But I think it's nice.
Are you a winker? Because we were talking about dominant rather than winking.
Okay. Winker.
That's not what I said in the meeting.
No, that's not what you said at the meeting. No.
Am I a winker? I've never been asked that. I do wink. I know what you're talking about because
Yeah.
you winked at Angela Rayner.
Angela
Yeah,
Rayner.
yeah.
Parliament,
Yeah.
and it-
So would you feel comfortable
And it was
winking?
part of him disagreeing with her, so I think it came across as patronising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we
yeah.
agree.
He says it
demeaning.
wasn't towards her, it was for another Labour MP, but
Yeah.
it was in her... She
Direction.
was on the other side, obviously.
Do you know what? I seem to be an involuntary winker. Sometimes I do a wink, and it just happens, and then I'm like, well, where did that come from? But it's usually in a... Is that all right?
Louis, I've just been asked in my ear to ask you, would you ever consider being a loose man for us one day?
Loose man, oh my God, I love it. I think I
Would you
already
love
am a
it?
loose man.
I wonder
Yeah,
if you might be,
I
but would you
think
come
so.
on as a loose
Extremely.
man?
Of course.
There you go, he will.
He will. Oh, Louis, it's been an absolute pleasure to have
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You're welcome back
Thank you.
any time with that jiggle.